So most of you are asking about Zidii Money Market Fund. Zidii Money Market Fund. This is the new money market fund, the new kid in the block. Those of you who know about money market funds, I talk about money market funds all the time. So right now we're going to be talking about the new kid in the block, which is Zidii Money Market Fund. And most of you have been asking questions, wanting to know more about it, wanting me to do a video, and here I'm doing a video on Ziidi, give you all the details if you want to know. Zidii Money Market Fund is the newest kid on the block. If you're investing in money market funds, you know how easy it is to invest in them. You know how amazing the interests are. You know how good, we make money off the money market funds. So it's time for you to start thinking about Ziidi if you want to. It's also important for me to do this review so that you make a good decision. Some people might be running to a new shiny thing because usually new things are good, right? So you could be running into it and you do not know exactly what you're running into. So my work as a financial literacy champion is to ensure that you're making the right decision. Now with Ziidi Money Market Fund, are you supposed to join or avoid? Join or avoid? That's the question, right? We're going to do a very good review, a holistic review, an honest review. I'm not partnering with anyone. I'm not being paid by anyone. I'm just ensuring that you make the right decision when it comes to investing your money and ensuring your money is safe. Here at Kenyans MoneyMatters talk about money mindset, how to make that money, how to do that money, how to manage that money, how to invest that money, and how to assure yourself of a lifetime of income. Basically financial freedom. So the new kid in the block, Zidii Money Market Fund. Most of you might think that it's only offered by Safaricom, but Ziidi is actually a collective investment scheme that is offered by Standard Investment Bank and Allah Capital Limited. So it's a collective investment scheme, which is also regulated by Capital Markets Authority. I always say you must ensure you know that your money market fund is regulated by CMA. Ziidi is regulated and approved by Capital Markets Authority of Kenya, and that means, at least with the regulation bit, you're safe to go. That's a very important bit. Now, how does Safaricom comes in? Is in partnership with Safaricom as a company. So this collective investment scheme is being run by all these parties I've just mentioned, Standard Investment Bank, Allah Capital Limited, and all that in partnership with Safaricom. That's how Safaricom comes into it. So what makes it most interesting, or what makes it more interesting, is that you can access it through the Safaricom M-PESA service. So it's more like an integrated service within the Safaricom M-PESA service. And I think this is a very good thing because most of us use M-PESA. M-PESA is one of the best mobile money transfer platforms, and therefore it makes it quite easy and quite accessible and quite efficient for people who are using M-PESA to have a way in which they can invest very fast through the M-PESA app, which of course is still quite easy when with other money market funds, but now it's basically being brought home to you. It's being made so easy, so accessible that, you know what, if you have money in your M-PESA and you're thinking, hey, I have this money in here, I'm not using it for anything, I could as well earn some interest on it, I could as well invest this money. What do? You basically transfer that money. And this is something that I would actually appreciate when it comes to Ziidi, because then sometimes you just don't want to think about transferring your money to a different money market fund outside the M-PESA app. So you're thinking, that will take me some transfer money, some transfer costs. By the time it gets to that different account or a different money market fund, you spend some money off it. Now you have a very good accessible way in which you can just invest your money and say, hey, you know what, I have this money in M-PESA, it's not doing much, I can just quickly transfer this money into a money market fund, making investments even easier. Now, investing in a money market fund is already too easy, but this makes it even easier for you as an investor to just access an investment right there and get those returns and make sure that you're locking in the interest. So I think the best thing about it is the accessibility and offering you that power, giving you that power, because almost everyone is using M-PESA right now. M-PESA has penetrated some of the remotest villages in Kenya right now, and that means the moment you integrate an investment platform with M-PESA, you're making it really efficient, really accessible to most people. And this can actually help you start the process of investing. Sometimes when you talk about different money market funds, some people do not have access to those money market funds. They don't even know they exist. Now, with something like M-PESA that you use every single time, you get access to this investment, because with time, this is going to be a very common thing that people should invest their money to make sure they're earning some interest and you're in control of your money. The beauty about money market funds is that you're fully in control of your money. Makes it so easy, makes it efficient, and makes it accessible to all those people who are using M-PESA. So I think this is the biggest thing about Ziidi, and if you wanted to join it, this is one thing I would say is going to improve accessibility to these investment platforms that some people might actually not know or have access. So let's go through some of the features about Ziidi and see if it's something that you want to join or it's something that you want to avoid. Now, I'm also not saying run away from your money market fund. Before you move too fast, make sure you know what you're moving to, make sure you know what you're investing in, and make sure you know what your next steps are. So don't just go running to invest in something without understanding exactly what you're getting into. So let's get into some of the details. Now, I think one of the best things is about how do you sign up. That's what most people will be asking, especially if you're looking to sign up. Now, how is the signing up process for Ziidi? It's very simple. If you have the M-PESA app, I mentioned it's integrated now with M-PESA. If you have your M-PESA app, you are able to just go and look for the Ziidi icon within the M-PESA app. You're good to go. If you can't do that and don't have that M-PESA app, you can dial *334# and then choose financial services, and you will find Ziidi in there, and directly you start investing. There's nothing you have to do. Literally nothing you have to do. Anyone with a phone, anyone who does transactions with M-PESA right now can start investing. So there's literally nothing you have to do except go into the same M-PESA app that you always go into, or dial *334#, which you always dial when you're doing your normal M-PESA transactions, and you have access to this investment platform. Tell me how better it can get. So this is the first thing. Efficient, easy. You can easily sign up. You can't come and say, oh, Ken, I don't know how to sign up, or this is going wrong. You use M-PESA every single day. I'm so sure you can invest in Ziidi. That's the first thing. Now, the next thing is most people always worry about their security. How is your money secured in there? What's the system like? What's the IT system like? What's the security? The thing is, with Ziidi, remember, it's incorporated to M-PESA. So if your M-PESA is working well and is well secured using your PIN, then you're going to be well secured using Ziidi as well, because the same M-PESA PIN you use for your transactions and to approve anything within your M-PESA app is the same PIN you'll be using for your Ziidi. So meaning no one can access your Ziidi account if they don't have access to your M-PESA account, unless you share your PIN to M-PESA, then someone can then access anything in there, right? Because this is now part of M-PESA. So the best thing about this is that now the PIN that you keep so secret, that PIN that is so private, is what is going to help you secure your money and make sure it's safe. So yes, your money is secure. Then of course the competitive rates. We want to earn money. That's why we go into these kind of investment platforms. You want to earn some money off. So if you want to earn money from Ziidi, you have to transfer money from your M-PESA into your Ziidi account and start earning money. Competitive rates, we are yet to see how much they will give, but that always depends on what they're investing in. Remember that money market funds do invest in short-term debt securities, so things like T-bills, corporate bonds, and so on. So with this short-term debts, it means that their interest rates will fluctuate depending on the economic environment at the time. So right now, let's say we're getting around 14%, 15%, 16%, 17%. We will see where they fall. We'll see where the range is, and we'll do a review on that as well. But for now, they say they will offer competitive rates. Let's see what rates they're offering at the moment. If you're already using Ziidi, let's know. Put in the comment section below. Let us know how much you're already earning as interest rate. And remember, this interest rate is daily, right? Which is the most amazing thing. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. And then, of course, easy access. And you can start with as little as 100 bob. Basically, if you want 100 bob in your M-PESA, you can put that straight into Ziidi and start earning interest. So easily accessible. You cannot say you don't have enough money. You cannot say you cannot invest. You cannot say I don't have cash. You can start with as little as 100 Kenyan shillings and invest. You can just be disciplined, consistent, and know how much you're going to be putting in there each time you invest. Top it up until you get to your goal. So that makes it very easily accessible to anybody, really. Anybody who has the capacity to make 100 bob. Now, Ziidi also has zero transaction fees and no maintenance fees. Now, with zero transaction fees, it means you can do your deposits and withdrawals without any transaction fees. Usually, if you're sending your money from your normal M-PESA account to a different money market fund or a different account or an investment account, you are definitely incurring some cost that involves transfers. Now, if you're transferring your money to Ziidi, then you have no issues with the withdrawals. You have no issues with deposits, and you're not being charged any money. It's basically a free, zero-rated transaction, which is an amazing thing, right? So it's something you want to take advantage of. I always say, make sure you check your fees. Make sure you check the costs that you incur while you're doing transactions with any platform. Now, Ziidi is giving you the option of not even incurring any cost, because if you have 100 or if you have like 10,000, you don't want to incur any costs, right? You want to transfer that money into your investment account and start earning interest on your 10,000 and not just 9,900. Then of course you can easily track your money. Some people always ask, hey, how can I see what I'm doing, how I'm doing in my investment account, how much interest I'm earning, how much I earned the last month, the last week, or whatever. You can easily track that in your M-PESA. Makes it quite easy for normal people to know exactly what's happening with your money. So if you're someone who gets worried about where your money is, what it's doing, how it is doing, then you can easily track that money. Then of course when it comes with withdrawal, I always say you must know how you get your money, right? So when it comes with withdrawals with Ziidi, it's just more like an M-PESA service, right? So despite the fact that you're invested, you can easily withdraw that money and use it if you need to use it. So that access, that withdrawal, I always say you must know how easy it is for you to withdraw your money if you put your money somewhere. So with this, it makes it quite easy for you to get out, withdraw your money, use it for whatever it is you're going to use it for, and then invest again. So that movement between that money market fund and your M-PESA platform becomes very easy. So you don't have to just have money in your M-PESA doing nothing. You can then push it into Ziidi, and if you want to use it, you can easily access it. You don't have to wait for hours and days and sometimes weeks before you could withdraw your money, or before you can withdraw your money. Now, most people will be asking, how much should you earn, or will you earn as interest from Ziidi? Now, that's a good question, and most of you want to invest in Ziidi, you definitely want to know that. Now, the thing is, interest rates that are based on debt securities change every single day. Like I mentioned earlier, these monies on money market fund are invested in debt securities, so T-bills, corporate bonds, and such stuff. Now, these interests do change daily. At the moment, we are in between 13, 14, 15, 16, up to even 17%. I think the best at the moment is Cyton or Etica, giving around 16, 17%. But of course, depending on what you want and what you want to invest into, you want to look at what interest rates you are comfortable with and see if Ziidi is giving you what you actually expect. Now, like I say, that changes every single day. If you are in the app right now, let us know in the comment section what they are giving you at the moment, so that those who are reading the comments would know exactly what they'll be getting from those returns. So there is no specific number that they'll give you at the moment, but that will be depending on the economic situation at the time, on what they're investing in, and what interest rates they're getting from their investments that they are making. Their fund management charge, yes, we did say that the transaction is free and there's no maintenance fee, but there's a fund management fee of 2% per annum. But remember, there's no transaction fees, there's no maintenance fee, which is weird. They say there's no maintenance fee, but really a fund management fee is essentially a maintenance fee. So of course, it's just more of a marketing language that they don't have a maintenance fee. 2% interest per annum as a management fee. Now, is the money that you earn on Ziidi subject to taxation? That's another question most people will be asking me. Yes, any money you earn on your investment in Kenya, in most of these platforms, is definitely subject to tax. There's no way Ruto is letting you go. You have to pay your 15% withholding tax on any money market fund that you hold. So yes, just like any other money market fund, you're going to pay a 15% withholding tax. That is now has to be netted off whatever it is you get from Ziidi as your income. Someone could be asking, how much do you have to invest, and is there any limits? Now, because it's an M-PESA integrated system, obviously it will just be applicable to M-PESA integrated limits. So that means you can only transact $500,000 in a day. You can transact up to 500,000 Kenya shillings in one day. And of course, per transaction will be 250,000 Kenya shillings. Now, the minimum you can withdraw from Ziidi is 10 Kenya shillings. The minimum you can invest in Ziidi is 100 Kenya shillings. Now, these are the limits that it operates on, which is just normally the M-PESA limits, really. But there's no limit to how much you can invest in Ziidi as a whole. You can invest as much as you want, as long as you are operating within the limits of M-PESA. So if you have way more than $500,000 to invest, then you're going to need to do it in tranches, not within a single day, because you can't invest more than $500,000 in a single day. So the limits just operate within the M-PESA allowed limits. Now, something amazing about the Ziidi is that you can actually lock your funds in Ziidi. So most of the time with money market funds, you can access your money at any time. But with Ziidi, you can lock your funds in the system. Once you lock them in, it gives you an extra layer of security so that you are able to control your spending. So there are people who are itchy about money, and so anytime they have money, they want to spend it. And if they know that they have access to it, like in Ziidi, you can have access to that money at any point. You can transfer it to M-PESA and then use it. If you feel that that's giving you too much access and you want to limit that, and maybe you want to have another layer, or you want to have something like an emergency fund, what do? You ensure that you lock your money, lock the funds that you want within Ziidi. It's very simple. You lock it within that particular money market fund. Now, that locked money doesn't earn any extra interest, just earns the normal Ziidi interest. But the fact is that you can't access it at any time. You need 72 hours for you to access that money. That means if you are going to buy something stupid, you have 72 hours to think about it before you actually spend the money. Most of the time, when we are impulse buying, we can only impulse buy using money that's accessible to us. So if you know you have that problem, you can lock away some money, give yourself that security, and therefore it gives you a buffer before you end up spending money that you didn't plan on spending. So it's just like creating your own fixed deposit account within this particular investment account. So this is a feature that most of you can use if you want to have very strict financial goals that you have to meet within a specific timeline, and you don't want to interfere with that money at any point. I think that it's a beautiful thing to actually have in a money market fund. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think locking your own money is a good idea, or do you think even if you lock your own money and you're itchy about it, you're still going to come back and withdraw and spend it anyways? I don't know. But yes, I think it's a good thing that you can actually lock your money within an investment platform so you don't have access when you don't want it. So just to conclude, Ziidi is a good platform. In my opinion, based on what I've seen, I think it's just a normal money market fund. The only beautiful thing about it that I would say gives it a bit of an edge is, number one, it's integrated with M-PESA, and that gives it accessibility. Most people will be able to access Ziidi. They'll be able to know about investing, because a lot of people still don't know about money market funds. They don't know about investing as a whole, but everyone knows about M-PESA, almost everyone, a very good percentage of Kenya. So it's very possible that this then pushes the idea of investing to most people and makes it quite easy and accessible. So if you have money in M-PESA doing nothing and you just want to earn some extra interest, which is, again, I said daily, right? Your money is calculated daily. So if you put in money today, it takes 24 hours before the money you put in starts working for you and earning you some interest. So that's all you need, 24 hours before that money starts working. So you can deposit as much as you want and earn money on it. So that accessibility is going to be a big thing. Number two is the fact that it's just operated within the M-PESA app. So you don't need to download anything new. You don't need to start opening new accounts. You don't need to do any paperwork. It's such an easy, efficient process whereby if you decide you want to have a Ziidi today or this minute, you just have Ziidi in your app. Or you just need to dial *334# and you have your financial services and you have your Ziidi and you can do whatever you want. So generally speaking, I think it's a good platform. We are yet to, of course, see how it performs in terms of interest rates. We're yet to see a lot of things, so let's give it time. I'll be back here with a video to tell you how it's doing after a while. Let's see how far it goes, and let's see those who are going to invest. And I hope this increases the amount of people investing, really, because Safaricom M-PESA, generally speaking, is everywhere, and that makes it accessible to everyone. Until next time, I'm out.